This episode, we're going to demystify all the different types of cabins and how cruise fares work. Plus, Paul's got some great deals that are available right now, and we'll check the latest cruise and travel news and hear how far away Celebrity Excel is from sailing. So, let's start the show. What do you reckon, Roof?
It's time to get your cruise on.
This is Cruise and Travel with Paul McAllister.
Hello, I'm Steve, and with me is Paul McAllister from 101cruise.com.au, which is where you'll get all the best prices on cruises around the world.
That's right. We'll take you into the world of cruising and let you in on the big cruising deals, particularly if you work in the airline industry.
Yeah, that's right. But to get hold of them, you need to sign up to our website, 101cruise.com.au. The deals you'll hear from Paul today on the podcast are for everyone, but if you work in the airline industry, sign up to 101cruise.com.au to get access to deals for airline industry employees as well. All right. Well, that bell means that you must have some sort of great deal up your sleeve.
I always have a great deal up my sleeve, Steve, and we're looking at an Australian cruise because, look, we're coming into the season in October. That's when that starts.
Australian cruising season.
I know. And
so more ships head from the northern hemisphere down to the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, so it's that migration.
Warmer.
Yeah, so this is our season from October to about April, and we're seeing a lot of movement in pricing at the moment. Like they're selling really well because not as many cruise ships are coming through to the Australian waters this year. And we talked about that on a podcast recently as well. And it's very disappointing. And the ships that they're sending down aren't the best ships in the world either. However, good thing with the cruise ships that we're looking at are really good. So we're looking at Celebrity Edge, which we love. Edge.
Celebrity Edge is a cracking ship. We were on it earlier this year.
Loved it.
For 4 days.
Wasn't long enough.
From Sydney down to Eden on the New South Wales coast and back. And it was fantastic. It's a beautiful ship.
It's
really
incredible.
good.
It's such a great ship. And look, we've got a great deal, which is going to give you up to 60% off. Now, that's a great deal at the moment, considering the market is selling very well. It's sailing out on the 12th of December. It's an 11-night cruise from Sydney to Sydney. Now, you'll step on the beautiful Celebrity Edge for an 11-day adventure, sailing from Sydney to Newcastle's Surf Heritage, Airlie's Beach Tropical Beauty, and Cairns and Port Douglas. That's a gateway to the Great Barrier Reef and Daintree Forest. Experience the magic carpet on board, a rooftop garden, global-inspired dining, and world-class entertainment. Now, this cruise for an inside room would set you back normally $4,104. That's in US dollars. But at 101 Cruise, we have it on at $1,633 per person. Now, that's a whopping saving of $2,471 US dollars. And you know what, Steve? It works out to being $148 per person in US dollars per day.
Yeah.
That's a really good value.
It is.
Yep. Look, if you want to go to a balcony, normally the brochure price for that is in US dollars, $6,640 per person. But at 101cruise.com, we've got it on at $2,427 US dollars per person. Now, that comes out of a saving of 63% or $221 US dollars per person per day. It's an amazing deal. And as we said, we do love Celebrity Edge, and it's a beautiful ship that we know you're going to love.
And as we said at the start of the episode, if you work within the airline industry, you can do even better rates than that. But to find them, you've got to sign up to the website and contact Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we're always looking for a great deal down at Antarctica because it is the bucket list place to go. Now, it's not for everyone, but I can't wait to do it because you only get that. I think you're only going to do it once in your life because it's so spectacular. And it's a long way to go down to. So, hey, we've got Atlas Cruises. Now, we talked about Atlas, I think, at last podcast as well. They are a small ship, which is absolutely stunning. And they're absolutely beautiful to cruise down to.
Small but mighty.
Oh, yeah. Look, the facilities on board are spectacular. It's all luxury. So this is going to go out on the 20th of November, 2025. It's an 11-night cruise again from Ushuaia in Argentina back to Ushuaia. You're going to set sail on the beautiful World Navigator with Atlas Ocean Voyages. It's an 11-night expedition cruise. Now, do you know what an expedition cruise is, Steve?
Tell me what an expedition cruise
So
is,
an
Paul.
expedition cruise is different to what you would do on a normal ocean cruise because they have the excursions included. So they'll take you on the Zodiacs, I was thinking that word, Zodiac from the ship over onto glaciers. They'll take you and you'll see wildlife, penguins, all those sort of things on this cruise. It's a really great way. So you're not having to pay for these extra tours as such. They're included in the pricing.
Do you see giraffes?
I don't think you're going to actually.
Are there elephants?
Maybe if you took some acid, you might see some giraffes. So you might dream about them. But no,
Seals?
you might see some seals. What else might you see, Steve?
Penguins.
You definitely, most probably will see penguins. But you know what? You can never guarantee these things.
They're big penguins
You
down
might,
there too.
I think you're going to see lots of seabirds. And if you're lucky, you might see a whale. That won't be by the pool. So look, an ocean view room, the brochure price of that in US dollars is $17,999. But you're not going to pay that at 101cruise.com.au.
This is for how many nights? 11.
It's
wasn't it?
11 nights. So our 101 cruise price is $10,854 per person. Now, I know that sounds a lot. It's 11 nights, but it's including all your dining, all of your entertainment, all of your alcohol, and you're seeing somewhere that's so untouched in the world. It's an incredible. And look, Atlas Cruises don't discount heavily.
No.
So it is a really great.
Don't leave it for the kids.
No,
it. Spend
God.
it now.
We don't have kids, thank God, but we're going to spend it for our nieces and nephews as well. Listen, if you want a balcony as well, normally that would set you back $21,499. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $12,924 US dollars. That's a whopping saving of $4,200 US
So
dollars.
ships like this don't actually have inside cabins. They're all on the edge. You can see out of all of them, but some don't have the balcony. They just have like a big window.
Yeah, so they have a picture window, they call it. They're really big, and there's different versions of that within the Atlas range as well. Look, they're really great. And because it's a small ship, I'm just thinking of the numbers. I think it's around the 200 mark. And it's just stunning. Beautiful, beautiful ship. And you're really going to enjoy Antarctica down that way. Now, just remember, all these prices are valid at the 30th of August 2025, subject to change and availability. And as Steve said, if your airline staff, contact us. Hey, now listen, how does a celestial cruise around the Greek islands sound for 85% off?
Put me in the Greek islands right now.
I'll come back with more info later.
All right.
Now the latest cruise and travel news.
Norwegian Aqua completed her first sailing to Bermuda with her new seasonal home port of New York City. Through October, the Norwegian Aqua will offer round-trip 5- and 7-day voyages to Bermuda's West End at the Royal Naval Dockyard, sailing from Manhattan. Now, onboard features on this brand new ship, Aqua, include the Aqua Slide Coaster, the Glow Court, Aqua Game Zone, expanded pool deck and Vibe Beach Club, the Mandara Spa and Salon, and the Thermal Suite.
Sounds
good. Thermal
good.
Suite?
Thermal suites, it's part of the spa. So you go in there and it's nice and warm. You lay on these gorgeous tiled lounges, heat you up, and it's just very healthy and gorgeous.
Celebrity Cruises offered its first look at the new Celebrity Excel, which is under construction in France this week.
It's doing sea trials, so it's not far away now.
The 3,244 passenger ship will feature 7 concept spaces around the ship, that are not on any of the other 4 Edge-class ships. Most striking, apparently, is the Bazaar, which offers samples of regional food and drink, full meals and daily carnival-like celebrations, and LED walls that change with the mood and the theme. The Excel starts its sea trials mid-October, apparently, with projected October 23 delivery date. The Carnival Conquest sailed from Miami last Friday, for the first of Carnival Cruise Line's sea cruises, which are exclusively for adults. They're doing a Virgin Voyages. The sailings include expanded casino access, themed parties, bingo events, and other offerings geared towards adults.
Are we talking the pineapples again?
Oh, God, don't bring that up. As part of the first cruise in the series, the Carnival Conquest is offering a 9-night itinerary to the Southern Caribbean. That would be lovely and warm this time of year. Now, the Emerald Kea will embark on her inaugural voyage on April the 4th next year, welcoming up to 128 guests for a journey across the coastlines of Greece and Turkey. So that's the latest in cruising news. But seeing this as the cruise and travel podcast, we also wanted to let you know about some other things happening in the travel industry. And there was some good news from Qantas this week.
Yes. Well, look, Qantas announced their profit for the 24-25 financial year, and it was a whopping $2.39 billion profit. That's a billion, I just said, with a B. That's incredible, isn't it?
Two of them.
Yeah.
So what's that compared to previous years?
It was an increase, I think, of 0.3 of a billion.
So even under the old leprechaun, he didn't do better.
No, the Leprechaun did 2.65, if I'm thinking right, 1 year. So,
The year that he sacked everyone.
well, yeah, he cut all everything else and sold everything else off. So he never ordered a new aircraft, really. So, of course, he made a big profit. He sort of ran the airline down. Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I?
No.
He was lovely.
He ran a business.
He ran it tight. But look, it's great news. And there were some really big announcements coming back out of Qantas with that profit, which is great. So they announced 20 new Airbus A321 XLR, which is a new aircraft. We've got one of them in stock at the moment. Another one comes very soon. But the big news that came out of that was that out of those 20, 16 of them are going to come with lie flat beds. Yay! At last, we're going to have.
Are you saying the ones you're already getting aren't coming with lie flat beds?
Got bad news for you. No.
Well, at least there'll be a TV to watch.
Did you hear the crickets then?
There's no TV to watch.
There's no TVs.
Take your iPad, folks. If
Yep.
you're going on the brand new plane, take your iPads and a pillow.
It's got big lockers, apparently. That's what the big bonus is, and it's very, very quiet. But look, it is going to be a great.
So all
great-
those people that take 5 bags on board,
No.
they'll be happy.
No, they'll only be allowed to bring the 2 on up to 14 kilos. Do I need to go through that again with you?
I see a lot of people
I
with
do
a lot
too.
of bags going
Yep.
through the X-ray machines.
Just think about that poor cabin crew shutting those lockers, people. The first jet arrives in September and opens up routes like Perth to India as we say goodbye to the 737. Hey, but don't get too excited. 73 is going to be around for at least another 10 years.
Oh, my God.
I know, because we're doing upgrades to all the fleet, especially the 737 with new seats, bigger lockers, more legroom. I'd like to see that. And it's going to be the equivalent to a day spa to everyone who goes on a flight.
What? In what way?
Well, the changes. It's like going to a day spa because it's going to be so good. Oh, I think I might be pushing the envelope.
Jeez, I reckon. All right. Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, now today you want to talk about how cruise fares work and take some time to demystify all the different types of rooms that you can stay in on board a ship. There are a lot. Like you just think, oh, there's an inside room, there's an ocean view room, and there's a balcony.
Yep, but there's not, because within that, you do have a breakdown of all these rooms. And then there's also, you get deluxe balcony rooms, you'll get ultra deluxe, concierge. There's so many different classifications within the rooms. And what people get confused of is they think, oh, it's all the same price, but they're not going to be the same price. And we're going to talk about how you can identify that and make it easy when you're booking your cruise. And look, to be honest, you really are best going through a travel advisor, because we know all the information about these cruise ships and we can advise you which cruise room is going to be the best for your experience. And then there's also things like guaranteed rooms and also selecting your room. So we're going to go through that step by step.
All right.
So let's start off with talking about what is a guaranteed room. Do you know what a guaranteed room is?
I find it so confusing. Like if I buy a fare on a ship, clearly I expect to be guaranteed a room.
You are, exactly. You are guaranteed a room. But what happens is the cruise line will allocate your room. You do not get to choose it. So you don't get to go on the deck map and actually see, oh, that room looks nice, I'll take that one. The actual cruise line will allocate your room. Look, it can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 or 4 days before the cruise departs, and you'll get an email saying, this is your allocated room. Now, what is the risk of doing that? The risk of doing a guaranteed room is you may end up with a room that has a obscured view, which means it may have something in front of it, like a big orange life raft. So
What, covering the whole window?
yeah, absolutely. They're
Well,
called an obstructed room.
I don't want that.
No, you
That's
don't.
not what I expect.
So okay, so you would then go and look at, I will want to select my room, and then you can get a list of the rooms that are available to you, and you look on the deck map and you select that room that's available.
Well,
And
clearly
you're
that's what I
guaranteed that.
want. So
But that's
are
not
you
what
about to tell me that's going to cost more?
That's where I was going. Thank you. So a guaranteed room, why guaranteed rooms are popular is because they're a lot cheaper. Now, it depends on the cruise and how much you save, but they do save a lot more money. So if you're looking for a 50 type cruise, but you want a nice room, you might look at a guaranteed room. Now, it's not all bad news because sometimes you can get a better room and you're saying, well, how the hell could that happen? But when the cruise lines, what they do is they guarantee you your room, okay? You're definitely going on that cruise. There is no doubt about it. It's just which room you're going to go to. So the cruise lines will offer at times a auction to bid your room up. So say you
When does this happen?
well, you can bid from basically the time you get your booking reference. You can go online and you can see on the website what they're offering. They'll also tempt you as the cruise comes closer with lots of emails saying, would you like to upgrade your room? And you can start bidding from this price onwards, okay? And all the cruise lines do it. Now, whether you get it or not, it depends on how much you bid on it. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later because that's a whole different topic as well. But the good part is you can get an upgraded room. But every time you do an auction upgrade, you put yourself back into that risk of having a guaranteed room because that might have an obstruction as well. So you've got to really think this through. But guaranteed rooms are good value. You just might get an obstructed room. Now, sometimes it might be a small obstruction like 5 or 10% where the part of the ship juts out a little bit more and you just don't see around that little bit of a corner, but you're still seeing out. So look, sometimes it's worth that with that risk. If you're a gambler, it's
And
a
they
good
may
option.
not be obstructed at all.
They may not be.
Like a guaranteed room doesn't mean that it will have an obstruction. It might not.
No, it may not. But that's what you
Depends
run
whether
that
they've
risk.
sold all of those other rooms.
Yes,
But-
and it depends if someone bids for a higher room value, and then you might end up with their obstructed room. So look, you never know. But if you are going to take an obstructed room, have a look at it on. There's lots of websites out there, and your travel advisor. We've got a couple that we
that
have access to.
a cruise deck map.
Yeah,
you
they
mean?
do. Well,
Yeah.
every cruise line has a cruise deck map, but this one actually has photos that people have taken and they've put it up, so you can actually see how much of an obstruction there is.
So if you've got, no, you don't know what room you're going to have.
Okay, so look, just to talk about when we did a very short cruise from Brisbane to Sydney on Crown Princess, I decided it was a 2-day cruise. I'm not going to bother about getting a balcony. We'll just go for a cheapo ocean view room. And I took the lowest value. However, I did select the room because there wasn't much difference between that and guaranteed. So I went through and looked at all of the rooms and found that this room that we selected was 2 life rafts and there was a massive gap between them. So we could actually look at it. It was obstructed view because we had 2 life rafts there, but there was a decent view that you could still see the ocean.
So we could see straight out. We just couldn't see as well on the sides.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And
Which,
so
who cares?
I know you really just sometimes really just sleep in a room, don't you? So that's, and your travel advisor can help you with that. If you select your room, you're guaranteed that room. They won't change. Now, look, the cruise line can come and ask you and you can say no, but they generally will offer you something better if they need that room for some reason. So that's a guaranteed room against select your own room. So if you really want to know your room, go with select. It is going to cost you more. Now,
What else?
we're going to talk
Help
about
us demystify
well, this is the part that we're going to
some
break
other
it
way.
down because each cabin type, so you're talking a inside room, ocean view, a balcony, all are broken down now into subcategories. So we just make it a little bit more confusing. Well, the cruise lines make it a little bit more confusing. And why do they do that? Because they want to classify out the ship into midship and forward and aft. If you're going to go for midship, it's going to be the most expensive pricing that you can have for that category because everyone likes to be in the midship because there's less rolling, there's less movement. As you move up to the front or down towards the back, you tend to get more movement. So people who get seasick like to go midship because they're going to have less movement. So they're always going to charge more for that. And they break it down. So let's have a look at, if we talk about princess cruises and we talk inside rooms, because that's going to be the easiest one. Next to the wording or the category inside, there's brackets and it has I standing for inside and then another letter of the alphabet. If it's an A with princess, it's midship. It's the most central point of the ship that you're going to get. Now, as the alphabet goes up, the ship positioning changes either to forward or aft. And so that will change your positioning in the ship. Now, as the alphabet goes up, the price becomes cheaper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but where do you see that piece of info?
You see that always on the cruise deck plan. So when it shows you all the rooms, and they have the on the side, it will say inside bracket IA, and it's a different color. So if it's I'm just thinking IAE, they will have a different color and it will show you on the ship. So that could be sort of more forward or could be more aft.
Okay.
So you can see it and you can pick it quite easily. And it's a nice way to be able to work out where you're going to be. Because a lot of people say to me, I want the cheapest room that I can get. So we go, great, no drama. We'll give you the cheapest, which will be a guaranteed room. Now, on Princess, it's called an IF room. Okay, so I being inside, F being a guaranteed room. Again, we've talked about you don't get to pick your room there. The cruise line will allocate it for you.
And if you want a balcony, the cheapest balcony room, it'll be BA.
BA. Because, the cheapest. Yes, BF, sorry. Yes, because it is a guaranteed room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. So you can sort of see, you can see on the map where they're going to be. But that's how they will work out the pricing for you.
Okay. Demystify us another way.
Another way we can demystify you is, we talked about obstructive views, but is actually looking at what you're going to have inside of on your balcony or your view. So like we talked about life raft, sometimes it's just a cleaning apparatus that they have, which could be just a railing that cuts out like 5 to 10% of your view. Is that a big one? No, it's quite all right. So really do your research and have a look. Ask your travel advisor. They will be able to give you some more information about which rooms are going to have the obstruction or not. When you purchase other rooms, you sort of think, like if you're going to do a concierge, we did concierge guaranteed one time, didn't we? And we took that risk thinking, okay, we may get an obstruction. However, if you have a look on their deck map and you have a look, there really isn't much of an obstruction that they can give you because it's generally when the ship juts out a little bit, you might lose that little bit of a corner. Now, and we did it, and we had our friends with us and they had a guaranteed room. Their room totally was fine. They had no obstruction of a view. Ours had just this railing around.
Okay, so what about going up or down on the ship? Does that go up and down in price?
Yeah, it totally does. So the higher you go, generally the pricing will go up as well. The lower floors will have a lesser price because you're getting people like to have that height so they can see out. So deck leveling really does come into play as well. And then they'll also have things like deluxe rooms or ultra deluxe rooms. And that just means that you're going to put extra facility amenities inside of your room. So it's the same size. It's just where the positioning is. and sometimes what the amenities go inside of it as well. So, and then we've got, when we talked about earlier, the upgrading. Now, you've got to be really careful and you've got to think this through, because sometimes you've got to think, I've got a guaranteed. So if you've got you've selected your room and you're happy with that room and that positioning, but you think, oh, if I go up a class, I might get extra facility. So we'll use Celebrity as an example. You might have booked a balcony room, which is midship, and it's on, say, level 7.
And you've chosen the room.
You've chosen the room,
Yep.
okay? So you've got that room. That's
Okay.
yours for
So
the
I
for
go
the
and
cruise.
bid to do what?
So then you think, oh, hang on, they've just sent me this lovely email saying if I bid up for X amount, I can go up to a aqua class room. And you think, okay, that could be quite good value, because with aqua class, you get the Blue Restaurant, which is a specialty restaurant, and you get access to the thermal spa. Okay, so you got to add that up in your head and you go, okay, well, specialty restaurants can be anywhere from $25 to, 45, 50, 60, depending on what the restaurant is. Now, they don't ever put a price on the Blue Restaurant because it is only for aqua class rooms and suites. So it's very specialized, and it's a healthy type of restaurant as well. So they focus on freshness, which all the restaurants do, but it's all about being a healthy menu as well. So to give you an example, so if you do that and you go for aqua class, great, you're going to go up and you're going to get those extra things, but then you also might find out that you are going to be have an obstructed view. Now, I don't think there will be much because these are specialty rooms as it is. So you run that risk. If you're going from, say, an inside room and you're going up to a balcony, chances are you might get a balcony with an obstructed view with something out in front of your deck. And there is a few cruise ships around. It's not Celebrity so much, but I remember reading this person's blog that they upgraded and they were really unhappy because they had placed a cleaning machine that was specialized for that cruise out the front of their balcony. And they were not happy that they had this there. But they got the extra benefits. So you've got to weigh it all up for what's worth it for you. Listen, we're doing it on our Japan cruise on Celebrity Millennium. Again, we were successful. We got upgraded from concierge to aqua class. We won on this whole deal. So you can have really, really good wins where we've gone from a concierge room on a lower floor that was towards the aft to going to aqua class to a higher floor. I think it's deck 10 and midship. And I went, wow, that was a huge win and really great views from up there as well when I checked it out. I thought, great, this is a good win. And we got that with Blue access to the thermal spa and other benefits as well. And that costs $175. So sometimes
for the
you
whole
win.
cruise. Right.
You really got to look at it as a gamble.
Extra on top of, what you'd already paid.
Yeah. And because we're on a higher floor, it's going to give us more of a view around. So I think sometimes these are great options, but you do need to take that reality check of, hey, you may get an obstructive view and you may go to a lower floor. Now, that's something that a lot of people don't think about, because if you're going to go for a penthouse suite, that's on deck 6 on Celebrity Millennium, not on deck 10 that you may have had a balcony room on.
So if you take do your bid and they come back with, okay, you've now got this, and you go, I don't want that. I'll stick with what I had, thanks.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
No, because you've agreed to the terms and conditions, so you're in that room now, and you cannot change.
All right.
So, and they charge your credit card, people. There's no coming back from it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
They're the sort of the main items that people get confused in with guaranteed rooms, with the classification within that type of room as well. So the takeaway is guaranteed. Yes, they're cheap, but you take a gamble of what the room's going to be like, and you can't change it once you've been allocated a room. If you go to them and you go, I don't like this because there's a life raft out the front of the room, they'll say, that's too bad. That's what you've booked.
Do you want to be saved if we sink?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're close. And then pick your own room. You know that you're going to have that secured room and the price is going to be higher. And then your upgrading bids, it's like the world's casino. Sometimes you have a jackpot, sometimes you just get bust. So the big question is, are you a risk taker? I know you would be, wouldn't you? You'd take the risk.
Possibly.
Possibly. Oh, that's interesting.
And the price also changes the further away from the middle of the ship that you are.
Yeah, or do you want that peace of mind knowing that you have exactly the cruise cabin that you wanted? Personally, I enjoy rolling a dice every so often, like picking the upgrade this time, and we won out. So you can win.
All right. Thank you for demystifying what all the different room prices mean, and hopefully that's a lot clearer for everybody now. Well, we're coming towards the end of the episode, but I dare say you have a couple of deals. You mentioned taking us to Greece earlier.
Oh, that's your favourite place to go, isn't it, to go to Greece? Yeah. You can't beat it. And look, Celestial Cruises are just a Greek island and also a little bit of Middle East specialty. So
now I saw this. This came out on the newsletter today, this deal, and it goes to Santorini and Mykonos.
Yeah.
Where else?
It goes to Crete and Milos. So it's a really cool cruise. So it departs on the 18th of October 2025. It's a 7-night cruise. On board, you'll enjoy the Mediterranean-inspired dining, spacious lounges, wellness centre, and evening entertainment with your fare. Now, an inside room, the brochure price normally is in US dollars, $5,356 per person, but not at 101 Cruise. We have it on at $899 US
how
per
many
person.
Nights?
It is for 7 nights. So that's $128 per person per day in US dollars.
If you've got holidays in 6 weeks, this is the one for you. And if you can where does it leave from? Athens?
It goes from Athens to Athens.
Get yourself to Athens.
It's 83% off, Steve.
That's amazing.
It's a really good deal. An ocean view room would normally set you back in US dollars, $6,076 per person, but at 101 Cruise, it's $929. You're talking $30, people. Get a window. 85% off for $133 per day. Look, it's a great deal. Look, it's a little bit older ship. Hence why they do some really good specials on their cruises.
Who cares? You're in Greece. You're on the Greek islands.
I know. You're going to go to those awesome, and we love Mykonos and Santorini. So, yeah, great deal. And our last deal for you today is on Sun Princess. It's a 15-night cruise. It is a relocating cruise.
This is almost a brand new ship.
It is.
Only sailed late last year, I think.
It is. They've just got their new one coming out very soon, the Star Princess as well. It's a 15-night cruise leaving on the 1st of November from Barcelona to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, you'll step on board the spectacular new Sun Princess for a 15-day transatlantic voyage visiting Malaga, Gibraltar, Seville, Tenerife before crossing the Atlantic. On board, discover light-filled spaces, infinity pools, glass-enclosed piazza, and the Dazzle Dome entertainment venue. It's a great cruise. I think this will be really fun. Inside room would normally set you back at the brochure price of $2,779 US dollars per person, but at 101 Cruise, you'll get it for $1,020 US dollars per person. That is 63% off. But get this, $54 US dollars per person per day.
Oh.
I mean, it's an inside room, but you've got all those facilities to go and enjoy. You're only going to sleep in your room. Hey, but if you want to go up to a balcony, it would normally be in US dollars, $3,389 per person. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $1,349. That is $90 US dollars per day per person. That's amazing. What a great cruise. Now, all these prices are in US dollars. They're valid at the 30th of August 2025. They're subject to change in availability. And once again, if you're airline crew, drop me a line at paul@101cruise.com.au for your best price.
Remember, you can get access to all the deals by signing up to our newsletter at 101cruise.com.au. Once you've signed up and you've got access inside the website, there are heaps of articles in the 101 Cruise magazine section, including all the info we talked about today about the different room types. That will go up later today, and you'll also find an article in there on 11 best first-time cruise lines for all budgets. And there's another one I saw yesterday called 10 Reasons to Go Cruising. If you're a bit on the edge of thinking, should we do one or not? Have a read of
Do you
that.
want me to name them all right now? Because I know all 10.
No.
It's not like school, is it?
No. Don't forget that when you book a cruise with us at 101cruise.com.au, you can also book your shore excursions with us by clicking on the Shore Excursions link at the top of the page on our website.
You can save up to 40% on what the cruise line will charge you, and they guarantee to get you back on the ship on time.
Yes, and that's the most important thing.
Oh my God, it is.
It's the best excursions and the best prices, and it's guaranteed.
That's it for today. On our next episode, we're going to be live on Celebrity Millennium in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean, somewhere between Tokyo and Seoul.
For more, go to 101cruise.com.au and sign up for the newsletter and to get access to the site. You can also follow us on Facebook at 101 Cruise and on Instagram at 101 Cruises.
Hey, Roof, come over here. Come here. Say goodbye.